they took my car keys. Like, you had to hand your car keys in. I'm 17, 18, and you're not letting me go out.
You went to boarding school?
Yes, I went to Wyndham College, which is a state boarding school.
Okay, what's the difference?
So boarding schools are typically private schools, so you pay for the education and you pay to live there as well.
Right.
But with a state boarding school, obviously it's a state school, so you don't pay for the education, but you do pay to stay there. So my parents were paying for me to be a boarder at a state school. So it's not as expensive, but you still obviously pay for it.
So what ages are you staying there?
I was there from 11 to 18. I know.
Fuck.
And in my first year, I was very homesick. And I remember I wrote my parents a card. And I don't know why I was so deep as an 11-year-old, but in the card, and I think they probably still have it somewhere, it's like, I feel like my life has gone down the drain. What 11-year-olds like?
Take me back to that pissing statue at Southwold.
Take me back to Southwold.
So I can't wrap my head around like being 11 and I can't say that and an 11 being an 11-year-old. There we go. And having to like move out from your mum and dad's. And what are you there? How long are you there a week?
You're there. Well, we did Saturday school as well, so we were there from Sunday night till Saturday lunchtime. And if you wanted to go home for a day, I used to, because I would miss gaming. Like, I would play The Sims every single weekend. That's all I did. I would get home and I would just play The Sims for like a day and a half. I wouldn't even speak to my parents really. But you weren't allowed to bring anything. Like, so our first 3 weeks. Imagine being 11 and your parents are like, "Okay, cool, you're going to boarding school." I was like, okay. You have to do your own washing, make your beds, do your ironing.
At 11?
Yeah, at 11, you're obviously the matrons, who are the people that look after you, they'll put you to bed, but you're still responsible for kind of like getting up and getting all your clothes out yourself and getting dressed and stuff. So you learn all that at quite a young age. And the first 3 weeks were hell because you weren't allowed to go home. So I think they were just trying to get everyone used to boarding. And you weren't allowed a phone. So my parents had bought me like a Nokia 3410. I was so excited. It was my first mobile. And they confiscate everyone's phones. So you were away from your parents for 3 weeks. The only time you could talk to them was via a payphone. So I spoke to them a few times around this 3 week period, and I just remember crying every day.
I'd fucking hate that.
I know. People who haven't been to boarding school, like, is it not cruel to send your kids away when they're 11? But my mum went to Wyndham College as well when she was younger, and she loved it. So for my first year, I hated it. And then from about year 8 until year 12, I loved it.
So you said you went home to play The Sims.
I did.
What, so you're not allowed to take The Sims there for weekends?
No, you weren't allowed. We didn't have computers. We didn't have, obviously, TVs or anything. You literally just had yourself, a few clothes, your school uniform. I had my phone, and that was it.
It's like a prison.
It is, but it was actually fun once you got used to it, because imagine like growing up and living with all your friends. Like, I then found it hard at at Christmas and summer, where you would go home for a long period of time, especially in sort of year 9 or 10, where I was like a teenager. I didn't want to be around my parents. I would find it hard because we would clash because we weren't used to living together.
Yeah, that's a benefit, isn't it? It'd be like Harry Potter.
What?
Well, Harry Potter, they do that, don't they? They all, like, you see Hermione in that crying when she has to leave Ron and that. No, like, we're on the train at the end of every film. Like, we've got to wait till the next one.
It's true. It was a bit like Harry Potter.
I can't get my head around. So you do the normal school hours, 9 till what? 5 or 3?
9 till 3.
9 till 3.
Yeah.
And then you're in a room, but you've got no. Well, you said you had your phone, but you've got no like Sims, no games consoles.
So those are just the dorms. So you have common rooms and stuff downstairs. So when you finish school, you go back upstairs, get changed into your like own clothes, and then everyone just meet downstairs in a common room. And we had there was 4 houses similar to Harry Potter. I was in the greenhouse.
Oh, snake!
I'm definitely Slytherin. But. And then after school, you could go and visit all the other houses. So you could go, if you had like a boyfriend in another house, you could go and visit them and things like that.
Oh, so it weren't same sex then?
It was mixed sex.
Oh, okay.
But you had a girl's side and a boy's side of the house.
Right.
And if you went up, you were expelled straight away. So no one did it. Like, I only heard of 1 or 2 people doing it when we were in sixth form, but you're a bit older then. So that was just one of the rules, and no one crossed that rule. But when you had dinner time, we all had this. It was called the refectory, where everyone went to eat. And after that, you went for prep, which was homework time, which was excessive. It was like 2 hours long. You had to sit in silence.
Jesus.
I know.
What, after school days as well?
This was after dinner, yeah, in the evening. So they'd make sure you do your homework.
Well, every evening.
every evening, but most of the time you'd like just try and chat to your mate or get told off for talking and stuff.
I'm intrigued about the 4-house thing. Did they have names?
Yes. So they were named. I'm gonna forget. I think they were named after women. My one was called Ket. We had Fry, which was the yellow house.
Beyonce
Cavill.
house.
Cavill was the blue house, and then Newhall was the red house.
Oh, so it's
Henry
Edith
Cavill.
Edith Cavill
That's
is
the
the
one.
woman from Norwich. Elizabeth Fry,
Yeah.
yeah, the famous women in the Norwich
And
area.
then Newhall was, I think it was a newer house, so it was just called Newhall.
They ran out of women.
Yeah.
Fucking hell.
Then when we got to sixth form though, it was different. So when you get to sixth form, you move out of the 4 main houses and you're all in a sixth form house together.
Right.
So finally you're reunited. And you have your own dorms at this point because you're obviously doing A levels. They want you to take it more seriously. Whereas before, in year 7, 8, and 9, you're in a dorm with 6 people. Yeah, like you just have all you have is a bed and your chest of drawers, and that's your area of the room.
Does sound like a prison. Do they serve you food through a little slot in the door?
No.
Oh, I wish they did.
What was the food like?
Sometimes it was nice. The dinners and the breakfasts were really nice, and then lunch wasn't as good because all the day peoples would come in as well, and there's obviously more people to serve.
What was your worst experience throughout your time at boarding school?
Other than being homesick, I think I actually struggled most in sixth form. Like, why did I say it like that? Sixth form, because I just wanted to be out of there. I was driving at this point, and one of my boyfriends, he was playing for Norwich like Academy, so he was living near Norwich. And they took my car keys. Like, you had to hand your car keys in. I'm 17, 18, and you're not letting me go out. And you were only allowed to go out twice a week. We were allowed to go to Norwich after school. So we'd all just like drive to Norwich
What, the football?
No, just to
City.
go. We used to go to Chapelfield and get some food.
Right.
That was the only time we were allowed out. So I just felt like I really was not in prison, but restricted.
It seems a bit mad at 17, 18.
Yeah, I know.
How strict was it? Obviously, you've just said there that like they take away your phone and your car keys and everything. But what was it like for like actually studying?
I mean, I got good grades and it paid off that way, but they made you work a lot.
It doesn't sound very fun.
It was fun though, because the fun part is you weren't allowed to go and visit other houses after prep, but it was fun to like sneak out. So if you had like a boyfriend in another house, all the couples would have their different meeting areas. So one was behind the language block, and you knew that was that couple's place. But all you do is just literally, and then they started putting like CCTV around, or like in the woods. And, yes, because obviously
the CCTV in the woods.
Yeah, because people would go there, and obviously they're young.
Hold hands.
Yeah, and hold hands in the woods.
Drink a Magnum. So my opinion of like boarding school is like that the kids are nerds, but they rebel. Because you're confined to all these rules and you have to live under these rules at such a young age. Did you do the same naughty stuff as other kids do in terms of like smoking weed?
I didn't myself, but I would always say I feel like boarding school kids get up to more mischief in the school than people that didn't go to boarding school.
It was a big thing. I went to Hewitt High School.
Oh yeah, no, Hewitt.
And I remember whenever we'd speak about the Notre Dame kids, we thought they were the posh ones, so we just assumed they were all the drug dealers because they're like the rich. They've got the rich parents. They don't care as much.
Drug dealers, are they rich?
No,
Well,
but
it
like
depends how well.
because they're the
how
ones who
good you are at
rebel.
your job.
Again, they're the ones who are rebelling because they've got like these rich parents who just send them to like a nice school and like leave them to it, as you got left to it at your
Yeah.
school.
So Max Fosh's private school is a lot more private.
That's a
than
proper,
Elz.
yeah, that's a proper
Yeah.
posh school.
Because we would still, I remember for rugby, they would play all the private schools. So on the weekend, we would play it. But for football, because I wasn't really into rugby that much, but like if the boys and my friends were playing football, I would always go and watch it. And we would play like Hewitt and CNS and Wyndham High. Wyndham High was our rival because obviously we were Wyndham College, and then Wyndham High was near us as well.
You would have played our team then.
I think they would have,
By
yeah.
Jacks, we'd have probably smashed you.
Probably.
we were good, I think. I didn't get in the team. So, did you play in your school team?
Yeah, so I played hockey.
Oh.
Because my dad was a big hockey player before I was born. And so he always saw me as being like a hockey player as well. So I played for a while. I broke my friend's nose actually playing by accident.
Punching them.
Accidentally punched
You
them in the
say
face.
that. I've done my research on Elz. She used to pinch people when she was playing football.
Yeah.
That doesn't sound what?
That's a foul.
Yeah, I used to do at primary school, I did Ipswich Town football training, and me and my friend were the only girls, and none of the boys would pass me. Probably a mixture of me being a girl, but also I just couldn't play football, so it's understandable. But I used to get really annoyed. Like, don't not pass me the ball. So what I would do is just go and pinch them. If they didn't pass me the ball, I'd be like, "You're not passing," and then I get sent off.
What age is this?
Probably like 8 or 9.
Scary.
My sister, the only time she ever played football, she got bit by a...
That was Elz.
Yeah, probably.
Pass me the fucking ball.
My sister got bit by this other girl, but this other girl had was eating. She was eating fish fingers sandwich.
As she bit her.
Whilst they're playing football. What?
What?
It went in her arm.
With a fish finger.
She went home and it was like a little bit, like a little flesh wound, but it had like fish.
I can't explain how much Jack's enjoying telling the story.
Was that you?
I don't know. I don't like fish. So probably not.
That's the only reason.
It's not the fact that you...
I know. I did bite my sister when I was younger, so I'm not going to put it.
Oh, wow.
She sat in a seat I wanted to sit in. She's 4 years older, but like, I really wanted the seat, and I bit her, and apparently like it drew blood and stuff. It was bad.
Have you got anger problems?
I don't think so, but I was a misunderstood child.
Right.
I always wanted to be an adult.
I can see why they called you Elz the Witch.
Yeah.
Oh,
You nearly said it.
yeah.
How did you break that person's nose? We never actually got an answer.
Sorry.
She bit him.
On the nose.
It was with a hockey stick by accident. I also broke my friend's little finger playing basketball, and she was about to go on the ski trip. It was 2 days before the ski trip, and we were just like bouncing the basketball, and it hit her hand, and there was this loud crack, and we just looked at each other and were like, "What was that?" And she lifted her hand up, and the little finger was sticking out sideways.
Fuck.
And she couldn't go on the ski trip because I'd broken her finger, and she had to go have an operation. And she still sends me photos sometimes of her crooked finger.
Did you still go on the ski trip?
I wasn't going on the ski trip anyway.
Oh, fair enough.
I used to go surfing, not skiing.
I was going to say, that's how you know if a school's posh or not. I think our school went to Wells.
Yeah.
They're going skiing.
Yeah, I know.
I went to Wales once.
On a school trip?
Oh, maybe we all did that.
That's just a Norfolk thing.
JJ had said to him, just do it on ours because she can take it.
So it's actually KSI's fault.
Yeah, we'll just blame him for it. And then I saw Stephen at the Sidemen 8th birthday party at the end of last year, and he come up to me and he was just like,